Your Sect Leader Cherry here with our check-in report for day 2, the final day of our mission for Burden Street Station. In this surreal narrative, we've been assigned to find out why a god went missing on a planet within their universe. And met some new friends so far in our journey, Lydia and Good Boy. You can see what happened there in the card above, but still nothing about the missing god. So hopefully we'll be able to find some more clues today to help us find them. And considering how funky some of these inhabitants look, I don't think they'll mind if I go around in my full U form, right? For those who didn't make it to the last stream, to kind of just briefly summarize everything. Hey, so chat decided to redeem me speaking Cantonese right when I was about to do a quick recap. So if you would like to not hear me horribly speak Cantonese, just go ahead and skip to the time showing on the screen right now. 好啊，你唔使明白。我唔會再講嘅。如果你要我講唐話，我唔會再講嘅。So 而家呢，我哋係喺呢個世界個圖書館個工人。我哋揾到嗰本書，每本書呢有故事，但係我哋揾到一個，我哋揾到一本書入邊冇到故事嘅。我哋個老闆叫我哋出去幫呢本書揾到佢自己個故事。我哋上一次返嗰陣時，我哋認識到兩個人。
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay? No more!
He just rambled in Canto for 10 minutes clearly. Yup. I tried to explain this story. It was very jumbled. I tried to follow. Sometimes trying isn't your best. Sometimes your best is do. Merch ideas. Sometimes trying isn't your best. Okay, I will say though, so the reason why we can't get on the train right now is because there's someone stuck under it. Or you don't fucking around down there. We don't have all day. I think I'm dying. Well, can you at least get out from under there before you do?
Savage.
Rip. I've molded this part of the world to my liking, and this niche of mine sustains me. Each is responsible for their own fate. This is mine. You can just do that? I don't have a specific home, but I do have a warm place to sleep. It's not the kind of place you bring up in conversation, though. What? Where are you sleeping? Oh! You're thirsty. Drink this. Wait. I think that came out wrong. What did the video say again? Ask first if... Right. Welcome here, guest. Can I offer you this fresh paint for drinking purposes? Ah, thank you. Actually, no. This is my paint. I needed to draw. So, now that I've offered you refreshments, let's get down to business. What the hell do you want?
Can you pick me up? I'm scared.
I like your art. I don't know what you were doing, but... Another trash panda finds a trash can. Why am I not surprised? Of course you want to buy this garbage. You and every other tasteless patron that comes to this place. A blind horse always frightens itself. Are you trying to make me look dumb? You think I can't be all weird and mysterious too? You wouldn't survive the things that go on in my head. I don't know. Art is subjective, is it not? A good jam out session might help. I look like a customer to you? I mean, I don't know. I've had some weird freaks come this way. Honestly, the only visits I get anymore are from buyers. Idiots who invade my privacy, peruse my work for hours, and then pay a fortune for my most obscure garbage. Can't really say no when they shove a big bag of money in my face though, can I? At some point, one of them really pissed me off, so I decided to draw them the most anatomically disfigured piece I could. And get this moron was so happy with it that I got double the commission as a tip. What is wrong with people? This is a fucking clown world. I'm sick of it. No one sees things for what they are. They would genuinely stress me out. What exactly are things? It's not that hard to get. My art is full of mistakes that only a beginner would make. So what's the deal with the reception I keep getting? Do they not see the obvious issues? The inaccuracies and faults that always end up on the canvas? Every single time there's an error somewhere that makes me want to tear my branches off. But there's one. A very specific painting. I can't sleep at night. I have to destroy it. I have to. I can't be at peace until I know it's gone. Probably this one, right? Sold it already, didn't you? Okay. So, why can't you just let me have this? You can clearly see that this upsets me. I want it gone, obliterated. Of course finding it would be a pain in the ass. But can't I dream? Oh, I thought that was the right one. So what's stopping you? What's stopping me? Who do you think? That abomination just oozed out of my brain when I was at my worst. Even though I lost it, its existence is wedged like a splinter in my brain. That was the last piece I ever named. Satan's corruption, a plague upon the world. It's like everything else I paint. I feel like your paintings are probably okay. The letters have stopped. Here? Yes, they have. Aren't you proud of me? I did it. I finally moved. I totally pressed the button without thinking about it. I am. Isn't it wonderful? So many hearts beating all at once. Oh? Say something, oh. Unlocked antisocial? Damn, I had that in me all along. I'm heading to the farm after this. Listening to you talk is hungry work. You remember something else you want to say to me? I'll be there. Probably. A farm? This annoying girl used to come by every day. Try to force me to get a job, saying stuff like, "Can't live in your shack forever, Ruth," or "You gotta get a job, Ruth." Terrible experience. Job application forms are a blight. I never see one again. It'll be too soon.
Real.
Nothing you can say to me to convince me that isn't lame as hell. Wow, what's gone into you? Was it something I said? Are you mad at me? I always make people like you mad. Ugh. Quit trying to change the subject. What were you actually trying to say there? Can you think of something to, like, make them feel better? I'm sorry, I don't know what you wanted. Feel better. Feel better. Seems like she really cares. Right. Anyway. Anyway, why do you care? You don't know her, do you? Sure, her music is cool, but I could live without... Wait, you know Lydia? You know Lydia? Our queen? Though she did introduce me to chess. Ever heard of it? It's like this big brain board game for intelligent people. Not to be that guy, but I've gotten pretty damn good at it. Your grandmas? Oh. Not yet. I'm sure I can be if I put in the work. Do you understand how awesome this is? Here's something that's actually possible for me. Art is too abstract. Years of tireless work, and for what? Not only that, everyone's gotta have an opinion on art. Impressive perspective fidelity, or these colors make me feel a certain way, or even, actually, people would buy this. Pisses me off. But with chess? With chess, you know if you're improved or not. Can't beat that, can you? I don't know. Relevant, irrelevant. This? The community hall. No, not literally, but there's a chess club there that used to be super active. Love that place. I played circles around everyone. Lydia was like the final boss. Had to cross her off my list though. Pretty funny since she introduced me to the game. You're like the type of person who's never told to shut up as a kid. That's so mean. Something good in all of this. What the hell I know? What the hell I know her? Wait, seriously? Are you a fan? Did she finally become famous? Is she touring right now? Why didn't she invite me? I don't believe she's touring. Oh. Huh. Well, it's a shame. She deserves a big audience. Either way, it's cool that you know her. Ever played Lydia in chess? She's really good. I practiced extensively since our last game. Next time's my win for sure. Next time's my win for sure. When's the last time you played? Well, she used to bother me day in and day out about getting a job. I did eventually relent, switched out one hell for another. But ever since I got fired, she's left me alone. Oh. You know, now that I look back, I don't really remember building this road. And the placement of this mountain is strange. Mountain? The structure is too functional and ugly. No! How dare you? How dare I? How dare you? There's this big round balcony I like to go to. There's something about the enormity of the pipes, the condensation rain. It's a sense of scale I've never been able to recreate. Anyway, you should check it out. I think it was this way? Yeah. Now that I think about it, the last time we played was the day I lost my job. Why would anyone fire you? Not sure. We were in the middle of a tight chess game when the boss walked in. Took one look at me, told me to pack my things. Not sure what I did to deserve that, but I'm glad to be out of there. Kinda wish Lydia would have stood up for me though. But whatever. She can apologize next time she visits. They mix like this almost like scrapbook grunge cityscapes and geometric cel shaded characters. The mix is wild and the roughness of it. I think that's what I really like about it. Like it's so like the roughness in it seems so, I mean it is purposeful, but it's like unique and it's, I don't know. I always have a fondness for like really rough things.
Hold on, don't go out.
Post-stream Cherry stepping in real quick. I had way too many thoughts colliding into each other here for this section, so the next few minutes is just basically me word vomiting my stream of consciousness, and it probably didn't really make much sense in the end. What I was trying to say here was, I wished more grace could be given to people who are learning. There's the societal pressure to only share the best versions of yourselves, so beginners, you know, me included, often unjustly compare ourselves against professionals, experts, or savants in the field. But the race we run in life is all uniquely our own. Some of us are sprinters, some of us might run a bit slow, some of us might get distracted and just, you know, whimsy max straight off the track. And while some of us may not make it to that finish line of our dream, or end up in a different race, we should still celebrate that we even ran that race at all. I don't, there's like a certain charm to it, right? Like someone's first like clay sculpture, someone's first painting, someone's first whatever. Like the attempt was made and it was like their best attempt. And it might look like dog water, but they had fun doing it and they loved it. Yeah, exactly. It's fun to see people progress though, how their art evolves over time. Yeah, like in this like age, it's like everyone's always showing the best and you have so much more visibility on like the best things, right? Like the best piece that someone's made, or like a person who's had like 15 years of experience tucked under their belt and just all that things, you know, like the end game production. And there's not a lot of instances where you're just like, oh man, this guy started from nothing, and just actually watching that progression. I think what I'm trying to say is like there's a severe lack of celebration of growth. Like not everything has to be so good to the point of you earning money, commercializing off of it. Like sometimes the journey is in learning, and sometimes we're never gonna make it there. And like that shouldn't matter. It should just well, I mean it I guess it kind of matters if you want a job in that, but like you know, like, but it should be people who don't have the experience shouldn't be shamed for what they're trying to develop. Like not saying that like it doesn't matter or it shouldn't matter, but it's just a matter of like people not giving enough grace to another person's passion. I think there's just not enough of like, it's okay if you suck. It's completely okay if you suck. Like in the sense of like you trying to learn how to draw or you trying to learn a new thing. Like when I first started baking, all my shit was like overmixed. I still ate it. It still tasted all right, but it was overmixed as hell. No one starts at peak perfect condition. And if you do, you're like a savant in it. So it's like, it's not even a good comparison. I love seeing behind the scenes also filling the world more of human-made art is so important this age, but I do get it. I get shy too. Yeah. You're always gonna be bad when you try things. Failure is the most important part of progress. Yeah. And it's like, I get it too. Like I'm very much a perfectionist. So it takes a lot for me to just kind of get in the mindset of like, get it out there. It doesn't have to be perfect straight out the door.
A little whimsy, a sprinkle of absurdity.
It must have been, oh wow, 6 months ago. Haven't seen Lydia in 6 months. She used to come by every day. Well, at least she doesn't have to look at my art anymore. Can you actually believe she likes it? Even when I point out the flaws, she flat out refuses to see them. Maybe she's blind and doesn't realize it. Can you lower your voice a little, please? Oh, was I right to just kind of have to her half yelling? You are divine in nature. Fear not the minutiae, my child. Have you considered my feelings in all this? What in the gaslight? Maybe your art just doesn't suck? No. Not good. Not even remotely. The more I complete a piece, the more it disgusts me. A canvas is most beautiful when I haven't touched it. But I have to finish them. I've practiced my whole life. And rent isn't free. A show rate. You have to pay rent even out here. You're saying a lot of words and I'm just... It's too much me. Hey, this is me. Let's see your art. Did you not hear a word I just said? You're just gonna say what everyone else is saying. Great work on that anatomy, Ruth. Your attention to details is astounding, Ruth. You don't need to spare my feelings. I know a lie when I hear one. So no, you're not looking at my art. I want to give Ruth a hug. Yeah, Ruth is literally every artist's brain. Why do you hate your art so much? No, I love my art. Can't you tell? Why would you ever think otherwise? Have you ever felt like everything you touch becomes worse? Like a reverse Midas touch. Funny how that works. The touch at least started off as a blessing before the king, you know? I didn't even get that. The malediction swept over me the moment I picked up a brush. Satan's corruption. That was my attempt at capturing this curse. I even suck at naming things. Bet you're proud of it, aren't you, painter boy? Why would you say that?
Leave her. She's lost it.
Bet you're proud of it, ain't you? Yeah, look, why not? Why would you say that to someone? Bet you fucking knew that, didn't you, painter boy? Sure am. My masterpiece. It's so captivating. I'm actually genuinely impressed with how much it sucks balls. Like, please let me burn it. I still don't know if you like or hate this thing, man. Well, yeah? Is it not beautiful? It is. Did it not support life? It did. Why, why did you smear your fingerprints all over my masterpiece? So that it would live forever. No, it was so that you could take the credit. Imp, how can you say that? Sifter. Oh god, I look cursed. What the fuck? It's my turn to maintain the pipes. Everyone in the commune has to do it. There's this big computer in the control room with a bunch of buttons. If the pressure of any of the pipes blows up, it isn't just, you know, inconvenient. We could all drown in a giant tsunami of whatever flows through. So yeah, I'll be there. Don't bug me. Or do. Who cares? No, seriously, where is that cursed painting? I should know. I'm sure I do know. But my stupid head just won't cooperate. If I had hands, I'd strangle you so hard right now. What the kind of response? Oh, the music though. Hear it? It's so good. Think for a moment. Yes, of course. Why didn't I try that? Do you have the slightest clue what I went through when I drew it? How could that much frustration and rage possibly leave room for memories? I almost ignored the knock on the door. I was so focused on the painting. Wait, you sold it like literally right when we arrived? Who would disturb you at such a time? Who? How am I supposed to know that? You think I remember every fool that comes here? But then, maybe this person has something to do with it. Think, Ruth, think! There's something about them. I heard the knock, and then I think I must have grabbed the painting. It wasn't even dry yet. Then I went to the door, but my hands were full. How do you open a door without your hands? Oh, the kick. Yes, that's right. I kicked the door open. Did it so hard that it knocked them back on their ass. Not my proudest moment, I'll admit. But it wasn't my fault. I was angry. Whatever. I tried to apologize. Probably. I think it involved the painting somehow. What exactly did I do? You threw the painting in their face? Yeah, exactly. No, wait. After I kicked the door open, there is this sort of twang sound. Like a string popping loose or something. I wanted to apologize, but I also wanted them gone, so... Wait. Oh my god. I gave them the painting. Shh. I didn't even get a good look at their face. How the hell am I supposed to find them? It could be anyone. This feels like a long shot. But I was Lydia? A string popping, like a guitar. Maybe. It was definitely an instrument. But there must be hundreds of people with instruments in this city. Even if I had to ask hundreds of people, where would I even find them? Oh, this is so annoying. Maybe Lydia can help? Lydia's a musician, maybe she knows? That's right! She plays music, so she definitely knows everyone else that plays music.
That's not how this works.
I'm gonna text her right now to meet up. The overhang seems like a good place. Hey! Hey, Lydia. Hi. Been a while. So, how you doing? I'm alright. Great. Listen, I need your help. Remember that painting I talked about? I don't know, Ruth. You make a lot of paintings. Remind me. But no, I mean the one with, like, the hand. Interesting. Okay, that doesn't answer my question. Right. Lydia, I'm serious. I need to know if you remember it. I understand. Are you messing with me? Here I am, putting aside our differences like a good Samaritan. Even though you never apologized, I still reached out. At the very least, that deserves a proper response. I'm sorry. Apologize? Me? Yeah. You just sat there in the break room with this empty look in your eyes. Like, hello? Stand up for your friend when he's getting fired, maybe? But whatever. I'm not here about that. The painting. Oh my god. That is so rich. Oh boy. What? What is? I don't know what I expected. I could have been chilling with BB right now. What are you on about? Is saying sorry really that difficult for you? No, go on. By all means, tell me about this painting. Finally. As I was saying, there's this painting I made a while back. Long before you betrayed me, Seriously? I'm sorry, this is too much. Going on and on about me betraying you. It's just... Because you did! I thought we were cool. I thought you were someone that had my back. But I guess that was too much to ask for? You always did have a shitty memory. Guess that's common in your field. I remember perfectly what happened. Good for you. That's right. Now about the painting. Datum's corruption? Yeah, you told me everything about it. And then some. Great! Do you know where it is? Why would I know that? I believe it ended up in the hands of a musician. Or at least someone that owns an instrument. You're a musician, so you should know every other musician, right? Wow. Generalization of the century here. I mean, sure, I do, but like, come on, man. I just need you to ask around, see if anyone has the painting. Can you do that for me? No. Excuse me? Don't feel like it. Any particular reason? What's the point? You're gonna find it, burn it, then obsess over the next painting. Yes, because it sucks. You know, I remember when I first saw your shack. I was looking for a way into Hightown, so I figured I'd knock and ask. Then the door slammed open so hard I got knocked to the ground. You came out and yelled something unintelligible before shoving a big canvas in my face and locking yourself in again. My nose hurt, my ass was sore, and my guitar strings had popped loose. In my hands, I had the most captivating piece of art I'd ever seen in my life. That was you? After that day, I made it my mission to learn more about you. Who is this amazing artist that lives in a psychopathic rundown shack in the middle of nowhere? Hey, this place is cheap, okay? Imagine my disappointment when it turned out he's just a sad, pathetic loser with an inferiority complex. I tried so hard with you, Ruth. You refused to accept the burning talent within you, no matter what I did. No, you're the one who can't see that I'm just a hack. If I had talent, I wouldn't be making anatomy errors, perspective oversights, shading misjudgments, outline irregularities. It's like I'm cursed. So, yes, I'm sorry for hating all my art, Lydia, but it's the truth. You don't hate your art, dumbass. You hate yourself. Like, you're stuck in a room full of mirrors, and instead of dealing with it like a normal fucking person, you decide to make it everyone else's problem. And don't even get me started on chess. Oh, I lost? Time for my toddler tantrum. What the hell were you thinking? Ever since Nightman fired you, I haven't been able to touch a single chessboard. I can't even look at them anymore. Lydia, You want to know why he fired you, Ruth? You want to know why I didn't stand up for you? Why I just sat there, completely zoned out? I'll give you a hint. What did you say when I took your queen? What did you say, Ruth? Come on, Lyd, I didn't... What did you say? Please. I just want my old painting back. That's what I thought. I'll have your painting here tomorrow. Burn it, soak it in acid, tear it apart, do whatever you want. But you will never talk to me again. That clear? I'm sorry. I don't care. Goodbye. Damn, I love Lydia. God damn. This bass dialogue, I love this. I really like the dialogue in this game. No, but Lydia's so base for that though. It's just like setting that boundary. Like, man, I tried with you. I tried. Oh. Oof. I'm starting to wonder if the impact we're having is a positive one. I mean, I obviously don't care or anything, you know? Just... We should go see if the train's ready. Hey, you're back. Great. When I wasn't looking, that freak vanished off somewhere. No one on the tracks, no obstructions. You can go. Yeah. We'll get in then and buckle up. Don't, actually. Trains don't have seatbelts. This place hurts my eyes. Not looking forward to the kinds of people we'll meet here. But it can't be as bad as what we just experienced, right? Let's have a look around. Sponsored street station? Oh, interesting. They placed us in the middle. Physically, it's the end of the line. Contractually, it's also the end of the line. We're done here. What are you going to do now? Get back to my regular job. How many trains you know that can travel between worlds? People need me.
Catch ya on the flip side, dude, masters!
Whoa! Whoa! I just realized these are legs. Hey you, tiny short thing beneath me. I'll do you a favor. Since you're all the way down there, let me tell you just how pretty I am.
Huh?
I must have been personally sculpted by a higher intelligence. My jawline could cut you in half. My eyebrows plucked to perfection. Every pore, hair, all accounted for. I'm tall, real tall, just how the ladies like it. But up here, it's cold. It's so lonely. Why? And a dialogue tree. Danger Noodle. Kid, I fucking love Hightown. My dad made his fortune selling snake oil, and I made it big in Hightown selling his story. That's right, I publish books. I'm richer than God. Can we just get yonder for a second, dude? I don't know. Was it coming through that way? Is this an office? Yeah, water cooler talk. You look cool. Wait, you look so cool. Oh! What in the world are you? I want a filet mignon of whatever you're supposed to be. Anyway, I bet you're headed somewhere. Somewhere important, probably. Real important. Oh, me? Yeah, I'm headed somewhere too. Thank you for asking. Off to visit my daughter. Haven't seen her for a while. What's your daughter like? Oh, she's brilliant. Smart, beautiful, top of her class, works a good job. Married as well. Bet I've got a grandson waiting for me soon. Only issue is that she doesn't visit that often. Wait, Nightman, that fired Ruth. I was like, oh my god, I don't remember their name. Ever since Nightman fired you, I haven't been able to touch a single chessboard. How often does she visit? Well, let's not get hung up on details. Not that it should matter to you anyway. I wouldn't expect a sheep to understand. I'm sorry, what? Takes one to know one. Well, now it looks like you've got some wit about you. Maybe I should let you in on a secret. He has so many masks, I didn't realize that he was changing them. Did you know that there's only ever 4,000 people awake at the same time in this city? Whenever someone goes to sleep, another awakens. And the sum is always exactly 4,000. Never more, never less. Isn't that weird? Yeah, that is weird. Indeed. I've developed multiple theories as to why this is. However, you're not ready to hear them yet. Classified information, you need to be qualified. Instead, I've got another tidbit for you. When you take the subway train, you've surely seen the lights that flash by the windows, correct? Now, these are usually just lamps, as you might expect. But sometimes they are high-fidelity cameras that are programmed to take snapshots of your posture when you least expect it. My posture? Why my posture? So they can submit that data to select government information black holes. What? Whoa. There's deep science behind how your natural posture affects your productivity. The straighter your posture, the better jobs you'll get. Interviews will just magically work out. As if they don't have a machine in their ear saying yes or no. I'll keep my back straight. Good. Also, if you have a phone, you need to toss it. The government listens to everything you say through that hellish device. It won't do, though. It specifically has to be these wells in the ground. You know, the ones shaped like prison bars. Tossed mine long ago. Now there's one less way for them to track me. Also helps out the underground prison. There's underground prisoners? People just like me who have been silenced. That's why the wells are shaped like jail bars. Frankly, I'm lucky to have survived this far. Well, you wanna toss your phone? I don't need that parasitic health screen anyway. Excellent. Looks like you've committed to the truth. Come back when you're ready. Because we are preparing for war. Against who? The government? Yeah, don't you understand? I'm just like you. And that you're a creator? Yes, Aunt. Why do you think I was wondering? Why are you talking about this now? It was you once. Impatient but full of fire. I thought if I could prevent at least one other from sharing my fate, I would take all the ire and hatred in the universe. Now that you've been caught, you want to be sentimental? Who are you trying to fool? Him. Home. Do not return. Oh, unlocked warmonger. You know, how'd you even get here anyway? Must be a real sleuth after all. There's too many hidden microphones in here. Let's take it to the water cooler. Okay. I'm impressed. Didn't think you had the guts. Usually people balk at the idea of tossing their government spying device. But you're different. You understand what's going on. You get the stakes at hand. The danger the world is in. And who knows? Maybe you'll be the one to save it.
I don't know, man. Seems like a lot.
Alright, listen. What I'm about to tell you is strictly confidential. That means that this stays between us, you hear? I've been developing the theory of all theories. And if I'm right, it'll be the biggest blow to reality as we know it. And I want to tell you. But I can't. Not just yet. All I know, you could still be a government-controlled drone. So you need to convince me. Prove to me you're not a robot. I probably should just use my insight. Almost irrelevant. Almost. Really? Okay. Yeah, I'm a soldier at your command. Ah, a private under my wing. That's a great start. Alright, I won't go into too much detail just yet. The theory has to deal with the 4,000 people being awake at any time. Although I must confess I haven't been entirely accurate, the number is actually at 3,992 right now. And every day the number goes down by 1. That is 1 less person awake every day compared to the previous day. Just about 11 years, only you and I will be awake. Both of us need to be awake. Risk falling asleep. How will we stay awake? Great question. Listen closely. There's a sleeping program in effect right now. I've noticed things. Little movements in the corner of my eye. Oddly shaped creatures scurrying behind walls, no bigger than rats. You think they can hide, but I see through them. I see their robotic nature. Every day they choose one person. And then they fire a microscopic sleeping dart at them. It's an ancient battle tactic goes back to the age of hunter-gatherers. Avoid a fight by paralyzing your foe with poison. Why fix what isn't broken? And that's not even the worst part. Because who they choose is not even a game of chance. There's an order to the victims. A list in a vault lies deep underground, with the name of every single person in the city, all ordered and filed. My name is there, your name is there, and it's all automated by a giant machine. Crosses out our names one by one every day, using a quill and ink. Are you okay? You seem very unwell. You must destroy the machine. Not just destroy, but wipe off the planet. We must dismantle every piece. We must burn each and every single tendril that's connected to the surface. It will take a long time and a lot of work. But by God, we will do it. We will eradicate the machine and set the world free from its deep-seated patriarchal control. This man's is off his rockers. Hello, big eyeball floating in sky. Whoa! I conjure pillars of beautiful flame. I cast magnificent colors across the horizon. I raise multitudes from the earth. Life. Life. And yet, flame quenches. The colors fade and run down the hills. Lives end and do not propagate. I build these stupid supports they once made. I set beautiful patterns straight and rigid. Colors practical, indicative. It makes little difference. Just what did you do differently, Ohm? Unlock Sergeant Major?
Disgusting!
You've shown great promise, and I do not say this lightly. You are almost ready. No government-issued drone or spy could ever have the motivation you've shown. I've only got a few questions left to ensure you're really on my side. Question 1. When did you last take prescription medicine? This morning. If I would be filed under the anxious one too. Never, I raw dog fevers. Next question. Where do the Burden Street Station trains go? Burden Street Station? Impressive. Very impressive. What even is the point of trains? Well, I know the truth. It's an underground centrifuge. We live above a gravitational anomaly. So a group of powerful elites have hacked the underground gravity. They force us through several thousand G-forces at Mach 15 without us noticing. It's only fine-tuned to tear at our neurons, but it only targets the smart ones. We are literally becoming stupider by taking the train. Trains are pretty rad, though. We stand for trains rights. This house. Sorry, trains rights matter. How dare they look down on the trains? Them automobile elitists. Why do you take the train then? That's exactly the question I was waiting for. You passed the test. I've been waiting for someone like you. Because you and we think alike. Our brains are wired the same. And because of that, you're ready to hear my grand theory. The theory of theories, the most terrifying of revelations. I'm not proud of this, but sometimes it keeps me up at night. I've tried telling my daughter about it in the past, but she never saw what I did. She never listened. She doesn't even realize she's in danger. I need to tell her. She needs to know about the underground list and the sleep dart critters. She needs to know about the microchips in her medicine and the flash cameras outside the train she takes to go to work. She needs to keep her posture straight. She can't get demoted again. Oh, okay. Oh, right. The theory. The theory of theories. Listen closely. In fact, get closer, because this will blow your mind. Possibly. Literally. I can't risk anyone else hearing this. Now, are you ready? Great. Alright. I don't know how, why, or exactly when I've seen multiple cases of damning, overwhelming proof. All of it points toward the same thing. God is dead. One day he was up there, somewhere. The next day, he was gone. And I believe I may have killed him. Why? I thought I was alone. I don't know how they got in. They told me my gnashing and grinding was heard from years away. They saw that I was busy spinning my wheels in the dirt, propelling myself to an early invalidation. I bristled at the thought of help. Help. This is my world, and what I say goes. So then, why do I despair so? Where do I go from here, my guy? Oh. Am I just following you down the path? I'll admit, if someone is called Nightman, I probably wouldn't follow him.
Oh, the Nightman!
It was never my intention. but somehow I managed to do it. I'm not even sure how. The correct string of words, the perfect sequence of actions, and I can't even recall them. But who else could it be but me? Who else could even pick up the signs? Feels like we're lacking something important. Talking to someone else might inspire you? Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Thanks for the heads up, Memo. What's that smell? Are you working class? Don't talk to me. Wow, hello rude. Okay. You ever hear the saying, I should comfort the disturbed and comfort the comfortable. Life, it's kind of like that, isn't it? Think about it for a sec. I'm comfortable, and I still deserve art. Friction hurts you in the long run, you know, like gears grinding your soul into tiny little pieces. I should go down easy, like rain on a wet dog. You ever seen Fight Club? What does Fight Club have to do with this? What the hell is this game? Cinema. A masterpiece. Where? Oh, I didn't even see this. Whoa, what are you? Telephangel. Can I help you? What are you up to? Not much. I'm just... Well, actually, I'm facing a bit of a conundrum. No, I shouldn't burden you with that. Don't worry about it. I can help. Alright, fine. Let's say someone has suddenly left. Someone close and important to you. A whole year. No letters, no phone calls, not a word. You wake up and they're just gone. Devastating, right? And you've sort of finally moved on after this hypothetical year. But suddenly they return. They tell you they finished their spiritual search and they're ready to go back to life as it was a year ago. You'd be upset, right? Gone without a word for a year, and then back as if nothing happened. Now imagine that they blame you for being upset and not respecting their choice. Both argue about it, and they storm off. Who's in the wrong here? Clearly they are. Yo, what is the stance that you have on me right now? That's the logical conclusion, but there's an interesting bit here. Not a single angel I know would agree with you. In fact, the common consensus is that you are in the wrong. How about that? Why? I'm not sure you'd understand. It's a touchy topic for guardian angels right now, but it's also thrown order completely out of the window. What was once clear as day is now a choking mist and ocean split in half. And it's impacting my job. Yeah, what's your job? I'm an administrator for a guardian angel support forum. Basically, I moderate and repair rifts between other angels, building new bridges for them to connect through. A mediator, if you will, for when things get rough. And things are very rough right now. For the first time in ever, I'm starting to hate my job. Damn, must be nice. Blessed moments. 5 stars. I saw them screaming across the sky last night from a bedding of dust. Screaming across the sky? They look so free, yet also part of something greater. Children of the cosmos, frolicking in the garden of infinity. They can hide in the tall grass. They can be as known as they want to be. I will be like them. My mind will be that of a poet. My heart will take the form of the devout. My body will serve to right wrongs and balance checks. And my spirit will flee the heavens in search of refuge. I will splinter into these pieces and scatter myself like stardust into my work. What do you think, Om? Is this up to your standards? Getting stuffy in this little office of mine. I think I'm gonna go sit outside for a bit. Okay, I can sit with you. I'm envious of the people down here on the surface. I occasionally come down to take care of business. Usually if another one of my kin has messed up or needs a hand. Everyone gets along here somehow. Sure, arguments and fights break out now and then. But overall, people respect and follow the laws they've set for themselves. No rioting in the streets, no pillaging or burning or looting everywhere. It's an unfathomable improvement to the past. What was the past like? I doubt your mind could really encompass even a fraction of what it was like. But I'll give you a brief overview. In the past, this used to be a land of chaos. In the far, far past, that is. No rules, no regulations, no one to watch over you. Creatures popped into existence out of nowhere. That's why guardian angels were instituted in the first place. To watch over and guide them to do better. It took a lot of time, but it worked. Let's look at the city now. Calm and peaceful. All thanks to us thought it's this way. Too calm for my taste? Maybe you'd like to take my job then. It's nothing but chaos back home and even worse online. Tell you what, here's an example right now. Let me read this post out loud for you. They clear their throat. My AGT, male, 18, let's call him Kyle, lives with his parents. He has worked a part-time job for 2 years while studying. Oh, just to clarify, AGT stands for Assigned Guardian Target. It's basically who we're told to watch over. Anyway, moving on. Kyle has been giving the money to his parents to put in a savings fund so that he can use it to buy a car when he's an adult. But now that he is, he's learned that his parents spent all of his money to pay off their gambling debts. Am I wrong for choosing not to smite his parents? Tell me how you'd respond to this question. Smite them immediately. I agree. Honestly, I'm relieved you feel the same way. Let me read one of the comments for you. Are you mad? His parents are in debt. Whether intentional or not, he should be pleased to have helped his parents out. You should administer a 10-year AAC on Cal for not ditching his studies and working full-time to help them. That's crazy. No, what? Mental, right? Oh, also AAC stands for Angel Assisted Curse. It's, let's just say you really don't want one of those. Now, can you believe that this is the top voted comment in the entire thread? Everyone agrees with this opinion. Other comments aren't even suggesting the original poster should smite Kyle and be done with it. So they can get another AGP.
That's terrible!
It's just scratching at the surface. Worst of all, I'm the one who has to officiate public opinion. It's gotten to the point where I let my mod queue pile up while I watch shows online. There's a good one I'm into right now. It's about a person that gets sent to heaven by mistake, even though they're an awful person. Dude, that sounds hilarious. Right? I'm almost through the first season. Ugh, if only I wasn't dragged down by responsibilities. I'd been shows all day. Paste. A letter from the Grand Archive of Moments dated 9460EX. We have noticed a halt in all celestial activity once again. We have also noticed the absence of this world's assigned god. Failure to return to work will result in planar obliteration. We do not take kindly to slackers. Your role is an exalted one. We expect you to treat it as such. Signed, the Collector. Angels can't really get hungry, but I still find this mortal food enjoyable. There's a sushi place near here I'm gonna hop over to. Well, I hope you have good noms. Okay, I have the right ones for you now. So it has to be one of the new ones. Have you tried asking an angel? That's utter nonsense. Why would angels be here? They're scheming in the ether right now. There's a massive power vacuum, and the saints of heaven are battling to entrench their own godly laws upon the world. Who will replace the previous god? Who will support this benevolent new patron? Who knows? Maybe they'll even thank me. You should really talk to an angel. Why in the world would an angel talk to me? I killed their leader in cold blood. If anything, there's a red dot aimed at my head. No, it's safer to remain low. You can dance with the stars. Oh, la-dee-da, isn't life just swell? People like you are exactly why things are so bad. The world's gone to hell in a handbasket. God's holding all the calls. And you are fine with it. Complacent to continue living in squalor of the mind. It feels like we're lacking something important. Let's try talking to someone else. Okay. Could have told me that earlier, but it's fine. I really need a change of pace. But guardian angels don't get that. Our lives are just duty. We don't get to switch off. Trying out mortal entertainment hadn't even crossed my mind until a few months ago. There's so many creative worlds of stories that you mortals have created. I'm really impressed. What do you like to watch? Anything with a good plot? Oh, that goes without saying. I love when a story explores a deranged idea that unfolds into complete chaos. Especially because I don't have to deal with it. There's something very cathartic about watching the world burn. Give the order? I appreciate the enthusiasm, but this world isn't set to burn just yet. One burning world at a time is enough. I just wish I wasn't a part of it. Why is your world on fire? I'm not sure if telling you is a good idea. It's quite the big deal. If people with the surface knew, it would shatter them. But you're different somehow. I can't quite put my finger on it. No, I'm just imagining things. You're just a surface dweller like the rest of them. No offense, but that does mean I can't tell you. Sorry. I know who killed God. That's not possible. God's not dead, he just left. No warning, he just... Oh dear. Well, I try to keep it a secret. Are you gonna freak out now? God's not dead? Oh, of course not. Most likely, it's just retirement. Or maybe he got bored of us and left to do something else. I'm not sure. I am sure of one thing, though. As soon as God left, the other angels become completely crazy. It was impossible to talk to anyone without them screaming in my face. Not that I hang out with him very often. I mostly stay at home and work. You don't seem to miss him. You're right, I don't. You know those old box televisions with broken antenna? That's what Father was like. Every time I looked at him, all I saw was garbled static. I couldn't make out a single word. Yet his presence came with order. Why did everyone love him? I'm not sure he ever really did anything. He was just there. Sometimes that's all you really need. Yeah, maybe. My connection to Father wasn't very personal. But I was responsible for the majority of guardian angels. It's my job to check in on everyone. But it's so overwhelming right now. This is a strange thing to say, but I wish I could do the surface dwellers and just quit. What's stopping you? Well, it's... I need to... You know what? You're right. Backbreaking work for no reward. Everyone on that hell site is working against me. Telephangel taps away on their phone for a moment. And done. I've locked every thread, closed every request. I basically turned the whole site into read-only. And I also announced my resignation, effective immediately. Let's see what they think about that. Oh wow. Is this how it feels when surface dwellers say that thing? Yeah, that goes. A weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Did I get that right? Either way, that's how I feel right now. Oh, this is so liberating. It's no longer my problem. I don't care what they do now. Still, I can't help but imagine them throwing tantrums over the closure of the site. Just the thought is so amusing. I have to thank you, little one. Thank you for encouraging me to pull the trigger, as they say. How can it be? I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be known. Let it find me. Let it find me. You ever been to the arcade? Pretty flash. I think I'll go there after this. Is that Pink Panther trifle? Nope. Wait, what the f? This freedom is so relaxing. Quite excited to get back to my shows. For you, however, I have a question I'd like answered. When you said that you know who killed God, what did you mean by that? That's a very specific thing to say, you know? I'd like to know more. There's a man called Nightman. No, Newtman? No, what? They Hold on, I recognize that name. Telephangel taps away on their phone for a moment. Yep, I know this guy. There's hundreds of posts specifically about him. Oh wow. This is like a long-form documentary. That is nuts. Even a fan base dedicated to him. Too bad about his daughter though. What's up with his daughter? According to her guardian angel, she's afflicted with a lifelong disease. Her body struggles to produce a necessary substance needed for her to wake up. Sometimes she'd be asleep for weeks, maybe perhaps even months. She takes medication now and the symptoms have calmed down considerably. But the damage is already done. Drove her father mad. His obsessiveness has traumatized her. Her husband helped her move far away from her father, but it's like he's back. He needs therapy. And the worst part is, his guardian angel has done nothing to help him. All they did was farm drama and upvotes out of him. It makes me sick just thinking about it. You know what? I might as well step in. I could do some actual good here on the surface without having to deal with angel politics, then I damn well shall. Also, I think I just broke around 400 etheric privacy regulations and clauses. Try not to tell anyone. Anyway, set up a meeting between us, will you? Okay. I think that's the one. Excellent. I'll be there. Thanks again for helping me. Still can't help but feel that. I'm not sure how to explain this, but when I look at you, you occasionally give off a glimpse of something. Some sort of static. What's even stranger is that I cannot find anything about you online, nor who your guardian angel is. Got an interesting vibe for sure. I'll have to look around. Till next time. What was the new one that we got? With the spider legs? Angelhood is a complex web? Maybe, actually. Go on. And you've been offered an accord. Actually. An accord. Like, the car. No, no bullet brain. The angel wants to meet you. Yeah, I think it's this one. What? Well, that's really hard to believe. However, you've proven yourself. I think I can trust you. Where can I meet this angel? Deepest part of Sonder Alley. They'll be waiting there. Where is Sonder Alley, though? An alley, huh? Either I walk out of this an enlightened man, or I don't walk out at all. This is it then. You watch out for those darts, you hear? I look cursed as hell. So, this is the place. Hello? And you must be the angel I heard about. No, that can't be right. You don't look like an angel. What are you? Bit rude. My name is Telephangel. I'm a guardian angel. Guardian angel? That's what you are, then you've done a piss poor job at it. Oh, I'm not your guardian angel. Your actual GA is spamming my inbox right now. I should block them. GA? Guardian angel. Oh, very clever. Wait, if you're not my guardian angel, or GA as you call it, then why are you here? Because you're right. Your GA did an embarrassing job guarding you, but I'm here to fix it. Fix? What do you mean fix? I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm sure. Now that I'm here, though, I'm sure you have hundreds of questions burning in your mind. This is your chance to have any answer you want. As if. I'm a walking encyclopedia. Try me. Alright, you're wrong. Here's my first question. What's the meaning of life? Oh, that's a classic. Telephangel starts inhaling, vibrating, and singing like a choir all at the same time. He stops after a few seconds. Right, I forgot. You need to know our language for me to answer that. I could teach it to you if you want, but it would take a decade. And then it will take another decade to explain the answer along with all its cultural references. Would you like me to? What the hell was that? Our language. It's a bit outdated though. Takes an entire minute to say hello. Yours is much more convenient for everyday use. Never do that again. That's not so bad. I could pull you into a dimensional pocket and teach you for 20 years. And when we return, not even a second will have passed here. What do you say? No. Absolutely not. I never want to hear that noise again. You got it. Any other questions you'd like answered? Oh man. Alright. Maybe you're not bullshitting me. In that case, answer this. Where is the machine? I assume you mean the one crossing out mortal names every day. You know about it. Do you know where it is and how to destroy it? Well, for one, it's not underground. It's on a different plane. Our home, if you will. Wait, you're the machine? Not at all. The machine you're talking about isn't really mechanical in any way. Yes, there is a list with every living name, and they're crossed out now and then. But it's done by angel secretaries that work for us. And they cross out names when, well, you know. Oh. But do they use acrylic ink to cross this out? Yes, they do. Alright, another question. The mechanical critters that shoot sleep darts at us, to cross us out? Tell me, Mr. Nightman, are you religious? I am. That is, I used to be. Until, well, I'm sure you know. I do indeed. So then you know that we see everything. That's the belief, yes. The critters you talk about are our monitoring devices. Squirrels, mice, rats, bugs, insect spiders. Microorganisms too. Those that live on your skin. No matter where you are, we'll know what you're doing. We borrow their eyes. That's so... So you're telling me all this time it's been you guys up in heaven? Not heaven, but yes. And you supervise everyone, everywhere, all the time? Yeah. So what you're saying is, you're the elite society, the ones pulling our strings. Not necessarily. We're just doing our jobs. You don't get it. You're walking proof of my theories. Theories? I've read about some, but come on, man. Pretty far out there. You're the reason behind my sleepless nights. You dumb us down to control us. No. At least, I don't think so. Never once have I had true privacy. Every moment monitored like a test rat. Your faith has always been about constant godly surveillance. Why does it only bother you now? Because it's messed up. Like, you have to watch over us constantly and control what we do. It's always been messed up. Nothing you nor I can do about it. Of course you'd say that. I bet you have an unreachable button somewhere that shuts down everything down. But at least I killed your god, so now your world is in chaos. Can we just take a step back, please? I came here to help you, but you're actively sabotaging yourself. Yeah, I'm sabotaging your control state. You'll never cross off my name. Listen, man, you want to see your daughter again, right? Wow. Blackmail? Already? Look at you doing heaven's dirty work. Again, not heaven. No, I just took a look through your file. You was searching for quite some time, right? Yeah, what of it? You're gonna offer me a deal in exchange for my soul. Stuff it, pal. I do things my own way. Your daughter is having a child. As if... Wait, what? A boy, to be precise. It's gonna have your eyes. You're not... He's gonna look like me? Yes. But I doubt you'll ever meet him. Your daughter lied. She doesn't live here. What? Bullshit. I see what's going on here. You're trying to trick me into leaving the city so you can disguise as me and have my family for yourself. That's a crazy jump. I'm a guardian angel. Why would I want to take over your life? I just want to help you meet her again. Yeah? Well, tell me where she is, son. I can't do that yet. I need to... That's what I thought. You want something. You have nefarious plans. You want to control me. First me, then the guy across the street, then the cashier in that store over there. You'll get to everyone. You'll build your own personal army. Until you're so powerful, you'll take heaven over for yourself and claim God's throne like you've always wanted. Wow. Telephangel chuckles. Honestly, that's pretty good. You'd make a great writer. But no, I'm too lazy to do any of that. I'd rather just watch shows on my phone. Also, again, not heaven. Oh yeah, you really expect me to believe that? Well, for one, none of you would be able to breathe up there. Second, the bureaucracy is a nightmare. I'd rather just do some first-hand pro bono. Let me help you, Nightman. I already told you. If you want to help me, tell me where she is. Or better yet, bring her here. Can't do that. Then you're no help at all. I don't understand. She's terrified of you. I just reunited you two. I'd make her life infinitely worse. That's not true. My daughter loves me. She did. Why hasn't she called you? Or written you letters? Who told you that she's 5 months in? She's made every effort to conceal her existence from you. Don't you find that strange? No, it's the machine's fault. She's being manipulated. What's the last thing she told you? That's not important. Tell me. It doesn't matter. Do you remember when she was discharged from the hospital? When you ignored her phone calls and she had a doctor drive her home? A temporary setback. I had my reasons. I was doing research. Do you remember rolling a whiteboard in front of the living room TV and spending 2 hours explaining how her medicine would have aliens torture her for eternity? She needed to hear it. Her medicine has to be taken with dihydrogen monoxide. What?
Is he stupid?
That's a deadly chemical compound. How is that safe for her in any way? Do you remember shaking her awake day after day, even after she begged you not to? I had to. I needed to make sure the critters didn't get her. Do you know that she had nightmares about you? Do you know that her every thought was about escaping you? No, that's... What was the last thing she told you, Nightman? I don't know. I barely heard her. I didn't think it was the last time I'd see her, so I... Please get help. Those were her words. I don't know. Oh! Every time she falls asleep, I'm scared she won't wake up. Go on. And she's always slouched in front of her phone or computer. I've told her she needs to keep her back straight. Employers don't like slouched employees. She's been fired so many times. I see. What else? She was in the hospital for so long. One time she was asleep for a whole month. I thought she was dead. I think that That's when it started. My trust for them eroded. And my trust in everyone. Everything. Even my daughter started acting strange. Do you think she noticed a change in you? I don't know. It's possible. The medicine they gave her worked. Barely sleeps longer than normal anymore. She also met her husband at the hospital. But something was different about her. I could feel it. All this time. Could it have been because of me? Is it my fault? I think you know the answer. He's right, Newman. You need help. I really do, don't I? What should I do? Go to therapy. Take you a year to change, possibly two. You'll be there for your grandson's birth. You'll be there for his first word or first steps. You'll be there when he starts school. You'll be there when he graduates, when he gets his first job. Everything in between. I know someone in the support forum space. I'll get you a contact for an excellent therapist. What do you say? I'd like that. I'm glad to hear it. You'll do great, Newman. Never forget what matters most to you. What is this mysterious door? We time traveling? Here it is, the place where it all began. You've been talking with him, haven't you? Tell me. What was he like? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing right now. Bit back tears unsuccessfully. He retreated to the soil. Bit back tears unsuccessfully? Defended his beliefs wildly. Am I just feeding everything in? Does it matter? Oh, I'm going back to default. Default form. Oh. Why did you do this, Amp? It's the world we built. It's beautiful, like you make it, and it holds up like I make it. I never truly left Amp. I stayed and I wandered these halls. It was a real living world, but then you shattered. Why did you hide, Amp? What? Why are you laughing? It's just rich, that's all. Rich? How? Never ever did I hear, "Hey Amp, what do you think of this?" Never did I hear, "Would you like some help with this?" Never did you say, "Do you want me to stop, Amp?" But... Oh, I think I have the voices mixed up. Do you have any idea how much it hurt when I figured out what you did? It was tainted. All of it. Insincere and unenthusiastic. The more I looked at it, the less it felt like my world. And more like the world that you built through me. You are a thief, and it makes me sick to see you again. I see. You know what I really think? I never have, Well, I think I was captivated the first time I met you. You had just been deified and already built yourself a little lighthouse on a hill. And inside it, one day I found you crouched over a star. Maybe your first. I've never seen something so starkly beautiful before in my life. It shone with a passion the likes of which I'd never seen. And then it was gone, sieving through the gaps between your fingers. You told me you were busy, and I asked if you needed help. I think I asked you that because I wanted that star for myself. You kept making things I wish I could, but they'd keep crumbling. Too hot, too bright, too passionate, too blinding. Don't remind me. Let me finish. One day, I read a letter that the archive sent. They were complaining that the world wasn't completed yet, something about mortals. All of a sudden, the world was spinning and a clock began to tick. I had to do something, Amp. I had to. I should have asked you. I should have shown you what I was doing. I was just too busy trying to make this work. I wanted it to work. You wanted a world. I wanted a world. What happened to your world, Oh? I attempted to make one, Amp, but the lack of color, the absence of beauty in life. I spent so much time studying how to build a world that I'd forgotten how to paint one, how to sing one, how to dance one, to lament one. Once I was written off by the archive, I just wandered the world farm for eons. I wasn't sure where I was going, but I figured I'd get there eventually. And then you bugged me in the lighthouse. And then yeah, I did, didn't I? Yeah. I was afraid I'd never get to talk to you again. You know when a prism splits a ray of light into a rainbow? All the colors are that light, just different facets of it. That's what you did to yourself, isn't it? I wasn't making some kind of art, Oh. I was in unbearable pain. Then why did I feel the same way I felt when we were making things together? The poet, the priest, the artist, the salesman, the angel. It's art just like this that would keep me up all night, obsessively preserving all that I can. I appreciated it. You did? I just wish you thought to ask me how I felt about it. Waking up the following morning to see my creation still standing, it brought me a joy that I'd been chasing for forever. We could have worked together, instead of this one-sided mentorship, instead of sneaking around making choices for me. The archive is very intimidating, but the world is a world. I make something you can't be proud of. What's the point? I think I'm sorry, Amp. I think I'm sorry too, Om. I didn't pay enough attention to how you were feeling. I should have listened to you closer. I should have been more patient. I fully expected you to leave and never come back when I hid away. But here you are. You even brought a pet. Actually, they're a librarian from the Grand Archive. And they spent a hell of a lot of time talking to all your former selves. At this rate, we probably know you better than does. You know, I think I doubt that. Hey, Amp. Yeah? You want to make something together? Yeah, I think I do. And you, librarian. What will you do now? We could use a mortal. Someone good at listening. Yeah, our first mortal for our new world. I never actually expected to make it this far. I thought the collective was just tossing us out so they wouldn't have to deal with us. Hi, what's wrong with you? What did you do? Well, I'm a book of moments, but I don't have any. Really? Has anyone ever actually checked? There aren't exactly many celestials just kicking around the mortal planes, you know? Well, I could try having a look. Would that be okay? I guess? Yep, takes memo and opens the first page. Oh, there it is. Right there. What? But I don't... Amp clears his throat. A lonely librarian in a book without a story set off on a train between worlds. A sister finds her true self when her brother sees it for the first time. The painting goes undestroyed. A terrified father comes to a stark realization. And all along the entire time, a little book writes it all down. Whoa. That's the end. Oh, I love this game. 10 out of 10 growl felt in my soul. The stories are just genuinely so good. Like, they were like very charged, but like in the right ways. The art style is so good. Like, it's so rugged and so like, I don't know, it's so good. I love it. The art feels very burdened. Yeah, very burdened, very stationed, giving street. All the storylines were really good. The way that the stories would like swell, and then like the conclusion of each one, just the swell of each story was like really good. With Good Boy and Lydia, it was like a slow burn. Like, you slowly like just kind of figured it out, and you're like so happy when they like meet up together. And then the Ruth and Lydia portion, like the way that everything just crescendoed in the meetup was crazy. 10 out of 10 experience. Loved it. I always feel lucky, and I'm always like appreciative that I get to like experience some games from devs or studios or whomever reaching out and being able to give out keys to check out the game, and like just being able to share this with like other people is like a highlight of like what I do. Thank you for joining. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did in Burden Street Station. I cannot wait to see the other games from this publisher. Crazy for Cherry to raid out the second I give back. Crazy for you to not be here the 5 hours that I've been streaming. That's sad. Yeah. I'm done being nice. Sass everyone to high heavens. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. I will be back at some point, at some time. Hopefully I'll see you there. I hope you guys stay kind to yourself and to others like y'all always do. And if I don't see y'all tomorrow, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.